Hey, movie lovers, welcome back to Pop Movie Recap. If you want more movie recaps and the latest updates, stay tuned by subscribing to Pop Movie Recap. Now, let's jump right into the action.
In a bygone era, the four nations of water, earth, fire and air coexisted in harmony, venerating those skilled in harnessing their respective elemental powers.
The balance was maintained by the Avatar, the soul being capable of mastering all four elements and connecting with the spirit world.
However, a century ago the Avatar vanished, paving the way for the Fire Nation's aggression.
In the present, Katara diligently practices her waterbending, unintentionally dousing her brother Sokka. Amidst the scarcity of food due to the ongoing war, the siblings embark on a hunting expedition, leading them to an icy field, where a mysterious glow captures Katara's attention. Sokka employs his boomerang to investigate, inadvertently triggering a cave-in. As the cracks widen, a massive ice sphere emerges, revealing a figure within. Using Sokka's boomerang, unleashing a brilliant light that attracts the notice of Prince Zuko aboard a distant ship.
Within the resulting ice crater, Katara and Sokka find Aang and his sky bison Appa. Rushing him to the village, Aang awakens, expressing a desire to return home, worried about his friends.
Their reunion is disrupted as a Fire Nation ship crashes through the ice. Zuko and his men storm the village, rounding up the elderly. Aang's distinctive tattoos draw Zuko's attention, leading to a tense confrontation. Refusing to disclose his identity, Aang is coerced to accompany Zuko under the threat of village destruction.
Determined to save Aang, Katara and Sokka enlist the help of Appa, who hesitates due to the approaching children.
Grandmother speculates that Aang might be the long-lost Avatar, feared by the Fire Nation for his potential to end the war. Sokka resolves to use Appa to rescue Aang. Meanwhile, aboard the ship, Zuko's uncle Iroh subjects Aang to tests, revealing peculiar reactions to flame, water, and a smooth rock. The unfolding events set the stage for a tale of elemental mastery, ancient prophecies, and a world in the throes of war. Confirmed as the Avatar, Aang becomes Zuko's captive. Utilizing his airbending skills, Aang escapes to the ship's surface, grabbing his staff as he goes.
Spotting Appa at a cliff, Aang transforms his staff into a glider and soars away, leaving Zuko in frustration. Guiding Appa to the southern air temple, Aang recounts their journey from a storm, ocean peril, to encasement in ice, his memories faltering thereafter.
Upon arrival, Aang calls out for his friends, greeted only by a winged lemur named Momo.
Katara questions the lemur's existence, believing them extinct, prompting Aang's unawareness of the century he spent encased in ice.
Aang searches for his comrades in the prayer field, encountering instead the remains of his people.
The discovery of a necklace he crafted for his mentor triggers Aang's grief, and in his fury his eyes and tattoos emit an ethereal glow, summoning strong winds that elevate him.
A trance-like state transports Aang to the spirit world, where he encounters the surprised dragon spirit. Katara's voice breaks through, offering Aang solace and a new family. The words reach him, ending the trance. Meanwhile, Commander Zhao invites Zuko to his ship, taunting him about his banishment and his quest to find the Avatar. Zuko asserts his eventual triumph, returning to his ship, reflecting on a family photo before resuming training under Iroh's watchful eyes.
Appa lands in a southern Earth Kingdom forest, where Aang, Katara and Sokka establish camp.
Katara informs Aang of Fire Nation dominance in many villages, but mentions that major cities remain unconquered. Suddenly, a distressed boy emerges, seeking refuge from Fire Nation soldiers, accusing him of forbidden earthbending. The trio defends the boy, refusing to surrender him to the approaching soldiers. Katara attempts to fend off the soldiers by bending water from her pouch, but the effort backfires, encasing Sokka in ice. The soldiers apprehend the group and transport them to a destitute prison camp near a village. There they encounter the distressed boy, reuniting with his father.
The father recounts the Earthbenders' initial resistance against the Fire Nation, which faltered when the enemy deployed colossal metal machines.
Non-benders were spared if the Earthbenders were incarcerated. Aang, unwilling to accept the subjugation, endeavors to rally the Earthbenders.
However, his attempts prove futile until he questions if the return of the Avatar would make a difference.
When he reveals his identity, a skeptical soldier dismisses him, leading to a confrontation. Aang's airbending intervenes and the soldiers surround them. Sokka and the boy's intervention sparks a turning point as the Earthbenders rise against their captors, demonstrating collective strength. Facing a fiery assault, the Earthbenders unite to create a formidable barrier. Aang, Sokka and the boy contribute to repelling the soldiers.
The villagers, seizing the opportunity, break open a shed containing confiscated bending tools.
Momo accidentally unveils a waterbending scroll, a gift for Katara. After the skirmish, Aang, admitting his incomplete avatar training, expresses a desire to learn bending from the Northern Water Tribe. Sokka proposes the journey, and the newly formed Team Avatar embarks on a quest to the north. As Team Avatar journeys through various villages, Aang announces his return, liberating places still under Fire Nation occupation, using his airbending skills. He also practices waterbending with the scroll, but struggles to master it. Meanwhile, Zuko, accompanied by 2 soldiers, investigates the liberated areas in search of clues.
In the Fire Nation, Zhao briefs Lord Ozai about the raid on the Great Library and the deciphering of scrolls to locate the moon and ocean spirits for a potential attack on the Northern Water Tribe. Zhao also reveals the Avatar's return.
At a Fire Nation colony in the Northern Earth Kingdom, Iroh suggests settling down, but Zuko, determined to find the Avatar, declines. To emphasize his dedication, Zuko inquires about the Fire Lord's son from a local boy, learning his own painful history. Prince Zuko's compassionate act to defend his friends led to a disfiguring Agni Ki duel against his father, Fire Lord Ozai, who burned Zuko's face when the prince refused to fight back. Back with the team, Katara and Aang practice waterbending near a lake, but Aang reveals his distraction, expressing a desire to visit the Northern Air Temple to reconnect with the dragon spirit. Sokka, deeming it too perilous, opposes the idea. While the siblings sleep, Aang, still focused on waterbending, achieves a breakthrough, raising 3 water pillars. As he concentrates, ripples and waves form on the lake, prompting memories of the Northern Air Temple, its teachings, fellow students, and haunting skeletal remains. Surprised by the unintended result of his waterbending, Aang decides to visit the temple alone. Arriving at the temple, Aang encounters an old man who guides him to a hidden chamber featuring statues of past avatars. Aang shares that the airbenders recognized him as the Avatar when he chose 4 toys out of 1,000 items belonging to the previous Avatar. During the ceremony where everyone anticipated Aang's acceptance of his role as the Avatar, he defied expectations by refraining from bowing back. Suddenly, the old man who had guided him apologizes, revealing that he orchestrated the encounter to gain a reward from the Fire Nation for luring Aang. Aang finds himself surrounded by Fire Nation soldiers, and is captured and chained in a prayer room. Seizing the opportunity, Aang meditates and enters the spirit world, reuniting with the dragon spirit. The spirit warns him of the Fire Nation's plan to exploit knowledge from the Great Library and urges him to reach the Northern Water Tribe swiftly. Zhao interrupts Aang's spiritual journey, stating that he won't kill the Avatar, as Aang would only be reborn, perpetuating the search. Later, a tank approaches the temple bridge and the Blue Spirit, a mysterious figure with a blue mask, sneaks underneath, hitching a ride.
As Zhao addresses his soldiers, the Blue Spirit navigates the temple, covertly disabling guards.
Using swords, the Blue Spirit frees Aang from his chains. When Zhao discovers the defeated soldiers, panic ensues as news of the Avatar's escape spreads. In the courtyard, Aang and the Blue Spirit face numerous soldiers. A strategic fire attack forces them to split up, engaging soldiers on opposite sides. Aang utilizes the practice area, incapacitating soldiers before escaping the courtyard. As Aang attempts to flee on his staff glider, he notices the Blue Spirit still fighting and returns to assist. To prevent Zhao from ordering the soldiers to kill Aang, the Blue Spirit, revealed to be Zuko, grabs Aang and holds a sword to his throat. Forced to let them go, Zhao watches as the Blue Spirit leads Aang across the bridge. However, at the bridge's end, an archer shoots the Blue Spirit down. Aang discovers Zuko's true identity, but uses airbending to summon fog, concealing their escape from the pursuing soldiers. The following morning, Aang leaves Zuko by the campfire in the forest. In the Northern Earth Kingdom, Iroh informs Zuko that Zhao's men have been searching for him, but Iroh managed to divert their attention by claiming Zuko is on vacation.
Inside his ship later, Zuko detects a hissing sound near a torch on his wall.
He narrowly avoids an explosion that engulfs the ship in flames. Meanwhile, Team Avatar reaches the Northern Water Tribe and introduces themselves to the royal court. Sokka quickly befriends Princess Yu. When Aang demonstrates his airbending, he gains acceptance to train with the Master. Aware that their presence may attract danger, Master Pakku outlines a defense strategy, emphasizing holding the soldiers in the courtyard until nightfall, when the waterbenders can harness the Moon Spirit's power. Sokka volunteers to guard Princess Yu at all times.
In the Fire Nation Palace, Zhao informs Ozai that the spirit's location has been deciphered.
Ozai orders Zhao to eliminate the spirits and obliterate the Water Tribe to destroy the Avatar. The Fire Nation fleet departs with Zuko and Iroh joining Zhao.
In private, Iroh expresses concerns that Zhao orchestrated the explosion that nearly killed Zuko, but Zuko remains determined to continue.
Back with Aang, he and Katara attend waterbending classes with Pakku.
During a sparring session, Pakku encases Aang in ice, but Aang skillfully waterbends it away.
The training intensifies as Aang successfully catches and disperses water balls.
However, his attempt at an offensive move inadvertently raises water in nearby canals.
Yu reveals that she was a stillborn baby, and her parents' prayers to the moon spirit revived her, turning her hair white. The city braces for the onslaught of the Fire Nation fleet as tension mounts. Zuko boards a small boat in white camouflage, and after Iroh reminds him to use his chai for warmth, he dives near the shore.
Locating a spot underneath the city with a thin layer of ice, Zuko generates heat to melt through, and enters an unoccupied room.
Aang seeks advice from Yu about a spiritual place to meditate and contact the dragon spirit. Zuko spots them from the rooftops and discreetly follows. Entering the spiritual cave, Aang meditates near the tree while fish in the pond swirl and glow. Sokka escorts Yu back, leaving Katara with Aang. Zuko reveals himself setting the grass on fire with his torch. He launches 2 fire blasts, but Katara counters with a powerful stream of water. Impressed, Zuko unleashes more complex fire blasts, overwhelming Katara. As the city bell rings, signaling danger, locals seek shelter. Soldiers line up on the fort walls, and a firebender on a Komodo rhino scales the icy walls. At the cave, Sokka discovers Katara unconscious, learning that Zuko took Aang. Meanwhile, Zuko places the still-tranced Aang in a storage room, and observes the battle below, planning to slip away amid the chaos. In the spirit world, Aang seeks guidance from the dragon spirit on defeating the Fire Nation. The dragon spirit advises him to release his grief and anger, emphasizing that the Avatar is not meant to harm others. Aang wakes up and finds Zuko talking to himself. Sensing danger, he leaps over barrels, evading Zuko's pursuit. Inside the storage room, Zuko attempts to attack Aang with firebending, causing chaos as he blasts away items. Outside the stronghold, a firebender breaches the fort wall, enabling soldiers to invade the city. In the courtyard, Master Pakku confronts the invaders using waterbending. Aang, using airbending to distract Zuko, attempts to escape, escalating into a standoff.
Suddenly the room rumbles and water from barrels spirals around Zuko, encasing him in ice.
Aang frees Zuko's head before joining Katara, leaving Zuko to use his chi to melt the ice and free himself. Using the stolen scroll, Zhao guides Iroh and his men toward the spiritual cave. Appa growls, alerting Team Avatar, who follows Zhao. Aang urges the others to pursue Zhao while he joins the main courtyard fight.
At the cave, Zhao reveals the moon and ocean spirits as the glowing fish.
Ignoring Iroh's warnings, Zhao stabs the white fish, causing Yu to collapse. In a fit of rage, Iroh conjures large fires, terrifying Zhao and his men.
Outside, Aang experiences a sudden headache as the moon turns red, stripping waterbenders of their enhanced powers.
This allows more Fire Nation soldiers to enter the city. Amidst the apparent defeat, Aang hears the dragon's words, prompting him to demonstrate the power of water. In the cave, Iroh notices Yu's connection to the spirit and implores her to return the life given to her. Yu, after a final kiss with Sokka, sacrifices herself, reviving the moon spirit, and her hair turns black before her demise. A momentary pause in the battle occurs as the moon reverts to its natural glow.
On a bridge, Zhao panics over his failure, but Zuko emerges from the mist, ready to duel.
Iroh intervenes, advising Zuko to walk away to avoid being blamed for Zhao's failure. The furious Zhao unleashes a large double-spiral fire attack. The fiery display attracts the attention of 4 waterbenders who hasten to block the bridge.
Defiant Zhao retaliates with a fire shot, but the waterbenders respond with powerful streams that engulf Zhao in a sphere, ultimately drowning him.
Meanwhile, Aang utilizes waterbending to confine soldiers in his path. Employing an airbending blast through the courtyard, he forges a passage through the battling forces, reaching the wall.
At the summit, he reflects on his life with the monks, releasing his pent-up guilt.
Aang taps into the ocean's power to surge a massive body of water against the fort wall, while harnessing the moon's power to lift it skyward. In response, Fire Nation soldiers attempt to retreat, but the water blocks their escape. Aang directs the water toward the fleet, suspending it above them.
Recognizing the imminent threat, the Fire Nation acknowledges defeat and withdraws, allowing Aang to redirect the water back into the ocean.
Katara embraces Aang as cheers erupt from the city below. In a moment of unity, everyone in the city, including the remaining Fire Nation soldiers, bows before Aang. Katara expresses the city's desire for him to be their avatar, and along with Sokka, they bow to him. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and share your thoughts in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell so you never miss out on our next recaps on this channel. Until next time, happy watching.